Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to a new crypto news video on the 25th of August 2019. So first and foremost, I hope you've had a wonderful week. I appreciate all the comments and the feedback I've been getting from you guys. So I'm not going to waste your time, and I'll leave timestamp in the comments below if you want to jump right into the news and knowing what's happening right now in the cryptocurrency space. So the first news we're going to be looking at is following the KYC hack, Binance will be offering victims of the hack lifetime VIP membership, which is pretty good. Then can the dollar be replaced by a central bank supported digital currency? So that's what the Bank of England's Governor Mark Carney stated. And economist shines light on Venezuelan bolivars littering the streets as crypto trading volume soars on local bitcoins. Let's get started. So Binance offers lifetime VIP membership to KYC Leak victims. Now, Binance announced on the leak on the 7th of August, stating that an unidentified individual threatened the platform and demanded around 300 BTC in exchange for withholding around 10,000 photographs of KYC data. So now the major cryptocurrency exchange announced that it will offer lifetime VIP memberships, including preferential trading fees, support, and more service, which I think is very good. Pretty happy about that. Now, KYC data is super important. Now, Cointelegraph reported recently that Binance said that its investigation of a KYC data leak that occurred at the beginning of it is still ongoing. And yeah, they don't know that much information, but it's actually the case that the source of the KYC image is similar to those leaked by an unidentified hacker. So yeah, that's pretty bad. Now, according to the official blog, currently Binance is actively contacting all potential victims with guidance on privacy and protection and restitution, and highly recommends affected users to apply for new identification documents in their respective region. So that, I think, is pretty difficult to do if you ask me. Depending on where that person is coming from, the country, it might be very difficult to get new identification documents. So yeah, I hope anyone that's watching this video is not affected by this KYC data leak. And yeah, stay safe with your KYC data, as it's super important. Now, I'm happy to hear that the Binance is transparent about this issue. So being aware of what's happening with the KYC data is super important. So hopefully this is a single occurrence. Now, the risks associated with a hacker getting your KYC data is devastating, as they can take over your identity and do a lot of bad things. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you. Now, the UK central bank chief sees digital currency displacing US dollar as a global reserve. And I think this is very interesting as we're moving into this direction. So now the question is, can the dollar be replaced by a central bank supported digital currency? It's a very interesting question. Now, Mark Carney spoke at the Economic Policy Symposium on Friday and discussed the need for a new international monetary and financial system. So while stating that the US dollar has played a dominant role in the world order over pretty much the past century, recent developments such as the increase of globalization and trade disputes have had a stronger impact on national economies at the present moment, and much more of an impact than in the past. Now, Carney made several suggestions, and for what kind of replacement to the dollar is possible. A few of these suggestions include the Chinese renminbi and maybe the digital currency supported by an international coalition of central banks. Now, probably this digital currency might be similar to what Facebook is trying to do with the Libra cryptocurrency. So this digital currency supported by an international coalition of banks is possibly also backed by a basket of different fiat currencies. Now, a global digital currency could dampen the domineering influence of the US dollar on global trade. That's why many people, especially in the US government, are scared of such a digital currency. Now, this global digital currency could work like an SDR-like basket of fiat currencies as the world further transitions off of the USD as a global reserve. So many countries do want to get off of the USD as a global reserve, and they're working towards that. So I think many countries are really happy about this. Now, technology can disrupt the current network effects that protect the dollar. So he explains, noting that an increasing number of transactions occur online and use electronic payments rather than cash. So the world is moving more and more into the digital aspect of cash payments. While he did not explicitly reference cryptocurrencies, he did note that the relatively high cost of domestic and cross-border payments are encouraging innovation. So while a digital currency might not yet be ready to replace the dollar as a global currency, we're moving into that direction, and the concept is super intriguing. Now, I think, in my opinion, this is not only a significant validation of blockchain, even though they don't mention cryptocurrencies, but it's a complete reordering of the global economic order to be fully based upon it. So I think that's pretty badass, if you ask me. However, I think it's still important to see that these discussions by central bankers need to be taken with a grain of salt, since there's a giant gulf between the desires of the financial technocrats and the currency and the technical intricacies of creating a digital currency with exactly these desired properties. It's much easier to talk about it than actually implement it. I think that's important to keep in mind. So, Economist shines light on Venezuelan bolivars littering the streets as crypto trading soars on local bitcoins. So, here's the tweet. So this senior fellow and director of the Troubled Currencies project at the Cantor Institute in Washington, Steve Hanks' tweet, he says, "The saying money doesn't grow on trees does not apply to Venezuela. In socialist Venezuela, hyperinflating, worthless bolivars are everywhere, as you can see here. It's littering the streets. It's pretty crazy." Now, Bitcoin skeptics believe that stablecoins can help stabilize the floundering economies where political agendas and poor monetary policies have sparked civil unrest. Crime and sprees are widespread poverty. So the Economist states Venezuela sits atop the inglorious list of the world's highest inflation rates. Venezuela, with a rate by measure of around 19,564% per year, is in the first place, and the second place is Zimbabwe, with around 541% year to date. So Hank is part of the Air Team, a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange that has been trying to solve the country's hyperinflation crisis, and they made an airdrop for a token, and they've been giving away these donations to 100,000 Venezuelans in need. However, they have had some trouble giving these donations away since the platform has been having problems accepting so many new users. So they say, "We were victims of our own success, and that's a great problem to have as a startup," Parser says. I mean, on one hand, probably because it's working, but on the other hand, I think it's not that great because so many people are lacking food, healthcare, and medicine. So I think it's important that they solve that problem as soon as possible so that the people in need get their donations. But still, it's pretty good. Now, the company is reportedly rebuilding its platform to accommodate the influx of not only hundreds of thousands, but around millions of users. So yeah, a lot of new users from Venezuela. Now, on another note, meanwhile, as the national currency litters the streets, there are record numbers being traded for BTC on the peer-to-peer crypto exchange Local Bitcoins, which makes a lot of sense because the bolivar is losing in value every day. So it doesn't really matter if Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are losing in value in other countries based on other fiat currencies. In Venezuela, cryptocurrencies are increasing in valuation because the bolivar is losing so much valuation. So now the trading volume is around 76 billion bolivars were exchanged in the week ending August the 10th, and followed by 71 billion for the week ending August 17th. So it's very big volumes for Bitcoin trade. So that was it for today's news. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and see you soon.